behind the scenes. And behind the scenes, what's happening is they're scared out of their wits. They know how close we are to our answer. The answer is right there, and it's in front of us. We got to get out from behind the keyboard. You can't email this one in. You got to show up at these meetings, get in their face, get real nice, uncomfortable face, and make them a nightmare for them to see you. Because you know what? They're going to think twice when some kind of legislation comes down the pipe. Because they love their jobs. They've got the best job in the world. You work one term, you got your top pay for the rest of your life. Your kids don't have to pay off your college loans. What a great job. I would do anything and sell my soul. I would do anything and sell my soul to get that job.
Andy, what we do with Landmark Commission and Weiner who wants to be a mayor? How we could push it on the front page? They supported the mosque. They created all that situation. Landmark Preservation Commission who vote for the mosque.
Well, that was, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. This gentleman's talking about the Landmark Commission.
Yeah.
Now,
how they can do it? They did it mostly.
Well, this was all done by our mayor.
Right.
You're talking about 9 people who are appointed by Mayor Bloomberg.
Right.
What do you think? You know, what do you think's going to happen? And you know the funny thing, when I was at that hearing and then the actual vote, there was 9 people up there, and the place was jam-packed. And on the left, there was everybody from the left. On the right, there was the 9/11 families, 9/11 survivors, firemen, cops, everybody on this side. All of a sudden, they were explaining how, oh, it shouldn't be landmarked, it shouldn't be this. And one guy actually got up and said, "What do you want us to do, landmark the sky?" And I said, did that guy just say that? Because I was like ready to run the stage and tackle him.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they did their voting. You could have heard a pin drop. Everybody voted, no landmark, no landmark, no landmark. All 9 of them. I can't get 9 people to agree if the wall's white. But meanwhile, on the most controversial issue of our time, they vote 9-0 to destroy this historical 160-year-old building. That is a piece of our American history. Why? Because you have a mayor that is worried about his next financial deal and possible White House run or White House appointment. That's why.
So it means
And when that happened, when that vote went down, you heard this whole entire, you heard crying. I mean, grief like you never in your life saw it before. And then on the other, I'm looking at this older couple, trembling, shaking, and they got a picture of their son, like this, shaking. Right? I'm looking at the picture. It's all crumpled up, laminated. It's been to 100 demonstrations. This picture, and the old man looks at me in the face, and I can tell as he mouths the words to me, "Don't let them do this to my boy." And then I look on the left, and I see Sharif Al-Gamal, Daisy Khan, and the whole legal team jumping up and down, high-fiving each other, celebrating. This is their interfaith. This is their reaching out to the community, that this is how we should understand Islam. You know what? This is the second wave of attacks. It's not going to come with vests of explosives and planes. They're going to come wearing suits and handshakes and smiles. Go ahead.
Hey, Dr. Ken Thomas.
How you doing, Ken?
The whole thing seems to be with this mosque. As an American, I can't prohibit it because it's in the Constitution. You can't prohibit, you know, whatever religion you want to practice. I do feel it's a seriously bad taste. Right? If I was the President of the United States, there'd be a lot of nukes going off all over this world. Okay? Well, as far as the 13-story mosque or 15-story mosque you want to build, it's bad taste. But it's not illegal.
First of all,
it's anti-American.
no, you're talking to somebody who does building for a living. Okay?
I understand that. I enjoyed our conversation at the bar.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, you said, you brought the word religion. This has nothing to do with religious. Huh? They're already praying there. Yeah. What I'm saying is, you can't just build something anywhere you want. You can't even open up a bar across the street unless you purchase a liquor license at some kind of raffle. You have to go out and have an auction to get a liquor license. So why should it be any different? They can just build wherever the hell they want and claim, oh, we're a religious entity. We should be able to put a church right in the middle of Central Park. How about the Greek Orthodox Church that was destroyed that day? These guys can't even get a permit to build a birdhouse. Meanwhile, this guy comes in and gets fast-tracked like I've never seen a construction project get fast-tracked before in my life.
Okay, but that's Bloomberg isn't letting it happen because he doesn't have his hand in their pockets.
He's got no payoff.
That guy, as far as the mayor of New York goes, a piece of shit. Sorry. Okay? The guy has been knocking down buildings downtown all over the place. Okay? And building new high-rises. Alright? And the guy's got his hands in everybody's pocket. Okay? But he got himself an overturned, didn't he?
He bought his third term.
Alright? So who's the dopes?
Us for putting up with
The
it.
people for putting up with it.
Listen, you get the government you deserve.
No, they can buy.
They deserve. We do.
I called Bloomberg's office the other day because they made.
Hold on, let me hear this.
I called Bloomberg's office the other day because they made Clinton's Library a historical site. I called Bloomberg. I said, "You're kidding me?"
Clinton's Library.
Yeah, you made that a historical site. You don't have the cojones to make this a historical site with a piece of the plane in there, with people's lives are, with their bones in. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mayor. You're no longer the mayor of New York. You have sold your soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Good girl. What'd they say?
What did they
They
say?
said thank you very much.
See, I didn't know about that. Very good. Miss?
And the state of Minnesota has Sharia finance law. How does that get started? How can you keep it from happening?
You gotta get to it. This has got
That whole
to.
state has it.
The only way this is going to get stopped is from our representatives. That is the only way.
Yeah.
You got to get people in there that you trust, and people have got to. But you know, at the same time, you got to be there for them.
Yeah.
Because if somebody said to me, Andy, will you do this A, B, C, and D? And if it's principles I agree with, I will say, okay, you know what? I will do all of that. I'll take all the hits from the media. I'll take all the hits from the left. I'll take all the threats that I'm getting right now, death threats. I said, I'll take it all. I said, but when I need you, come election day, that's the payoff. You got to be there for me. When people come to and protest in front of my office, I need you there to counter-protest. Don't let them crucify me. And you got to give that to whoever's going to stick their neck out. You got to give them that. Because they're not willing to, no one's going to stick their neck out to take all of that abuse unless you support them. That's it.
How do we get copies of this to
Yeah.
show to people to educate them?
What is it?
And then Sharia law, if you made a copy, gave us to Gary, and somebody has to very knowledgeable contact him. He probably has his advisors.
Well,
but-
like I said, I got a lot of people, a lot of connections. I will look into this guy Garrett first. The movie itself, it's done by the Christian Action Network. If you go to their website, you can pick it up.
And it's the
What
Christian.
I believe it's ChristianActionNetwork.org or .com.
But
What else?
if you want, I can get some information for you, and I'll bring it to the next meeting.
You should give it now, like, we can send it today, tomorrow, tonight, I don't know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think if you go to sacrificesurvivors.com, they actually have the trailer and they have
It's
the
online.
wave.
I just want to say one more thing, because Marianne and John from the Rockland County Patriots. And it would really, really be really good if you would come to our meeting and say everything you say, because people are so uninformed, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, listen, if anybody out there wants me to speak, this is what I've been doing. I've been traveling the country doing this. I would be more than happy to come to your group. I would even come to a group that's against everything I say. I don't care. You know, I welcome a challenge. So if you go, I have flyers at the front, and you go to my site, bluecollarcorner.com, or you can find me on Facebook. If you want me to speak at one of your engagements, you know, I'd be honored. All I ask is that I do need help. I don't get paid for anything. If you could muster some donations to help for expenses, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and in fact,
Right there's the flyers.
First, I don't know if I have the figure right, there's something like 500 million people butchered in the name of Islam. It's an extraordinary amount of people that were killed in the name of Islam. It's still going on today. During this Easter holiday, we have killings in Indonesia, House, Pakistan, and Christians, etc. It's horrific. Also, I don't believe in religion on like some others, they do. I kind of think it's a political movement. It starts from cradle to grave. It's everything, law.
No, even the word Sharia means path to water. So when you open up your eyes to get out of bed, you have to begin by abiding. If you're a practicing Muslim and you're strict to their ways, as soon as your feet hit the ground, you're practicing your Sharia.
Can I just finish though?
Sure.
In Bloomfield or wherever it was in New Jersey, they just recently did something with the Muslims are suing because they were going to build a mosque. And the Muslims cannot want to sue because the others used the zoning laws. Can you just elaborate on that and how we can, like, God forbid they want to build a mosque, say in Englewood, where I live. How do we go about, people don't want this, how do we go about fighting this?
Okay.
I was at the Brooklyn protest recently too, she said, right.
Right. You listen. There's no you know, magic bullet. You have just got to get yourselves together at the community board meetings, at all the town hall meetings. Get all your Tea Party groups, your 9/12 groups, your Act for America groups. All of those heavy-duty, powerful groups need to come together on this issue. Now, the fact that Tea Party has actually started to, you know, break out of their fiscal, you know, stringent, smaller government sort of bracket, and now they're breaking out into, you know, the culture and social end of it, has been a great boom for us. You know, people who are fighting these social and cultural issues, which they all tie in, they're all related. You know, Tea Party is a great idea, and I know there's some strict Tea Party people who say no. You know, we can't. I know, like in Manhattan, they don't want to know nothing. Everything has to do with fiscal matters. That's it. Budget, deficit, debt. I respect that. I respect that because it is smart. But you know what? Is there a mosque here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was kind of hoping you were going to say no. There's no mosque here because my next line was, "There will be." Joe.
You know, what I said before is like with all these different groups, whether it's the Tea Party groups or the Liberty Alliance, all the different groups that we've talked about, you know, we don't have to agree on everything, but we got to agree on one thing, and that's in November of next year to make the right vote, and we all have to come together on that, and all these groups. So, as Andy said, and this gentleman said, how do we fight these guys? Yes. Well, this is how we're doing. We're fighting them in the Moose Lodge.
Are you from Tina?
I'm from Glenrock.
We got entrenched crap here for years and years. Entrenched
I was born in Tina.
I live here. We vote in those entrenched crap time after time after time on the state level and on the federal level. And see, they never get out.
Right, but
they never
they
get
did.
out.
But we started, as Andy said. Look what happened in the last election. We turned over the House of Representatives, and you know what? The Senate would have turned over too, except that only 1/3 of the senators were up for vote. So we would
was voted in. Whatever was voted in overwhelmingly.
But it's all our jobs to get out there and educate, because the media ain't doing it. You pointed that out. We have to be out there. We have to talk to people, and we have to come across not as some sort of maniac.
I appreciate the realism.
Hey, we need it, buddy. We have to have it. Without it, we're dead.
I have to tell everyone here something. Jeanette and I read in the paper about a Tea Party meeting in New York. Oh, New York, right? It's Saturday. Let's go. We're all geared up. We're going to go. But that's the door. I said, it was down on like 14th Street. It's in the park. Jeanette, where was this? There's nothing here. Could be really warm. It was an outdoor farmer's market. We walked around. We looked. Finally, we saw someone with a clipboard. We said, maybe let's go ask them, right? We were like two little kids. We said, we weren't lost. We questioned the woman. She says, you're at the Tea Party. She said, no, you don't understand. You're in Manhattan. In other words, there's no Tea Party here. This is the Tea Party.
It's a coffee party in Manhattan.
They do have a Tea Party.
Yeah, but there was
It's at
one
Starbucks.
person, just a big rally. This is a couple of years ago now. A couple of years ago. And she was so thrilled to see us. What she gave us flyers or something. Help me.
Hey, look, that's.
So when you say New York Tea Party, we're like, what Tea Party?
Well, listen, it started with us at City Hall with 30 people.
Okay.
Okay, we just had something, very recently, close to 1,000 people, right in front of City Hall.
Right.
It's pretty good. It's a start. You're talking about a nest of liberals, so it's tough.
That's what she said to us, New
Ma'am?
York.
The only thing I just want to comment that what you just said, sometimes the Tea Party gets into this whole thing, and I don't care what party it is. And what they say is, well, the most important is the fiscal and the Constitution. Well, guess what? As soon as you say Constitution, then you have to have moral leaders. And that's what you're fighting, and that's what, as a Tea Party, we're fighting. The rhinos, the Democrats, the independents, I don't care. If they're not moral first, they'll never lead us back. We built the temple to money. It ain't nowhere to go.
It's an awesome point.
And so I just say to people, we'll get in debates and arguments, but let's make sure, like the founders, they're moral men and women before we say we want it. And you're one of the guys that's leading us back to that, even though you're going a little different way, but it isn't different. If we don't stand with you, there's no sense in standing, like this gent here said. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Continuing on what you said, it's very true, because I've been reading a lot about that, and including right now, the 5,000-year leap, which makes it extremely apparent how important morality and religion. All of our founding fathers, in their various letters and correspondence, said that we must be moral and religious because your morality comes from religion. John Adams himself said something like, our Constitution is meant only for a moral and religious people. It will not suffice for anyone else. Without morality and religion, we're gone, because our Constitution will not apply. Obviously, if you're evil, who cares about our Constitution? So you must be moral and religious for our Constitution to work, and our Republican form of government to work.
I agree 100%.
I just want to ask you a question. Chuck, do you believe that Obama could be impeached?
Impeached, no.
Okay, then why, you get all kinds of letters. Out of 100 letters, 90 of them say, impeach Obama, impeach Obama, impeach Obama. Why, if he can't be impeached?
Look, the best way to impeach him is to vote him out in 2012. Because that's how long, because if you're going to go through the impeachment process, it'd be 2014.
I just wanted to mention, Faith, this has been great. Hillary Clinton, is in like fling with Sharia law. You know this, right? I don't know if you want to address it, but she's the Center for Foreign Relations, which on their website talks about how America is Sharia compliant, and it's all in that, Raouf kind of language.
The left and Islam and Sharia are so in bed together, it's frightening.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you an interesting story, a Tea Party story actually. I went up to Mayapack months ago because the Schumer was going to be there, and I'm from New York, and I love Chucky. So I went up there, I went up there just to kind of, with a few Tea Party people. And I park my car and I go across the street to the facility where he's going to have his, where he's going to be wined and dined. And there's a flank of cops there. And I said, excuse me guys, can you tell me where the ladies are lying? He said, who are you? I said, what difference does it make? He said, well, we need to know. I said, look, this is really important. I need to use the facility. I said, I just drove from Rockland to here. You know, a woman with a cup of coffee, you know what happened? So they said, well, who are you? I said, your question is, am I a Tea Party member? Am I correct? Yeah. He said, well, you can't use the facility. I said, wait a minute,
Alabama
I said, let me look around. Is this America? You're not, here's the deal. I'll pee here, or I'll pee there, but I'm going to pee. Anyway, needless to say, they took my bag because there might have been some incendiary devices.
Yeah, like the Constitution.
I went to the bathroom and I came back. Now I walk across the street. Now this is like with cop bad cop. There's a cop walking right next to me who was very silent of this whole thing, and he said, listen, we agree with you. We love the Tea Party people, but we have word from the Chamber of Commerce that we're not to entertain you today. I'm like, you're kidding me.
See, I don't believe that.
I was there.
No, I don't believe the Chamber of Commerce. I don't believe that.
Well, okay.
That's them with their lies.
Well,
and
yeah,
crap.
for sure. So now the other cop comes out and he says, now we're on first name basis. He said, chill, let me ask you a question. Do you see a relationship between this parking lot and that building? I said, yeah. This is the same private property as that is. He said, I need to ask you to leave. I said, well, where can we go? Now there maybe about 6 of us.